Hello from Vancouver Island at the Garden Center. I'm just picking up some ingredients for my wife, some supplies for our vegetable garden in the back. Thought I would jump on here. I've been doing a lot of reflecting over the last couple of weeks, as I'm sure a lot of you guys have. And I'm thinking back to the last recession, 2008, 2009, and just kind of having some flashbacks to my thought process at the time. And I thought I would jump on here and share a paradigm shift that I went through at that time in order to pivot within my business and really pivot my mindset as a business owner and shift from being a reactive, as I would call it back then, where I was just like literally your typical reactive business owner, to a much more proactive, decisive business owner. And in many ways I was inspired by Elon Musk at the time. Speaking of Tesla, I was inspired by Elon Musk. I became quite a nerd after that period of time, because he kind of taught me how to think about navigating through crises and challenges using his method for thinking about things. And for those of you that follow, you might be familiar with something called first principles thinking, which is what Elon uses when it comes to strategizing, when it comes to navigating the business environment. All of his thinking comes down to first principles thinking, and I'm going to define it here real quick. So rather than looking through examples, because you can tell he's very innovative in what he's able to push through with SpaceX, with Solar City, with Tesla, is rather than looking through examples, he proves whether or not something is possible first through science. So he doesn't look through our history books. He says, okay, can we disprove whether or not this is possible through science? An example of that would be, at the time, the cost of batteries, right, for an electric vehicle was completely prohibitive for him to build an affordable car. And rather than him looking out on the market, okay, what do batteries cost? He said, through first principles, what is possible if we just boil down all of the different ingredients, all the different components of a battery? If I were to purchase them independently, what would they cost? And he was able to show that it was like a fraction of what he would have to pay on the open market. So he proved, okay, it's possible we could get batteries down to, this level. This is where they need to be ultimately. And it's just going to be a matter of time for us to innovate and figure out how to get there. So he began from the end of mind, and he proved, first of all, is it possible, yes or no, right, within each of these categories. And then also, he inspired me in terms of, reverse engineering. If we want to build a electric car that's going to disrupt the entire automobile industry, what are the specific things that need to be true? And he started there rather than kind of starting from present moment moving forward. He said, okay, what needs to be true? So he looked at, okay, we'll have to probably have the safest vehicle out there. We'll have to have a vehicle that gets at least, 400 miles on a charge. We'll have to figure out a way to charge it, in less than an hour. So all of these success criteria he laid out in terms of, here's what needs to be true in order for us to be successful. And then he used first principles thinking to show it's possible. We don't know how to do it today, but it's possible. And here's what needs to be true in order for us to be able to pull this off. And from there, he threw down the gauntlet for the challenge for his team members and said, okay, we need to have the safest vehicle on the road. I don't know how to do it, but that's up to you to figure out how to do it. And he just surrounded himself with the smartest people out there. Now, how does this apply to your business, and how did I think about this in terms of my business? Well, at the time, for me, what I wanted to have was a business that was profitable. I wanted a business that was recession-proof, and I wanted a business that could run smoothly whether or not I was there. Those are the things that I wanted to have in place. And through first principles, my question became, is it possible, yes or no? And the answer to that question was, of course it's possible. Is it possible to have a recession-proof business? Well, that comes down to understanding what does that mean. And so for us, we're in transportation, refrigeration, which are essential businesses. They will always be needed, right? So they're recession-proof inherently. To have a business that could run smoothly with or without me, is it possible? Yes. Do I know how? No. But that accelerated my focus in terms of, I need to figure out how to set up, systems within my business. I need to know how to set up teams that can thrive without me having to be there micromanaging them. And this got me laser focused in terms of, okay, now I just need to figure out the how, right? And rather than reinventing the wheel, that accelerated my progress to reaching out to people like, within Toyota and Google and figuring out the how, right? So I shortcutted and saved literally years by finding the who. And I found the how by finding the who. And so what I mean by that was, we can spend time or we can spend money in this world, right? And I spent money by finding, the best of the best in Toyota, Google, to figure out how to solve all these problems so that I could accelerate my rate of progress to have a business that was exactly how I envisioned it. But I reverse engineered and I began with the end in mind. And so I just want to share that story because this is what set me on my path was being inspired by Elon Musk and modeling his way of thinking. And it's changed every aspect of my life, because if you can get clear on what you want, the second question just needs to become, for you, is it possible? Is it important to you? Now it's just a matter of racing to the answer. And oftentimes, rather than having to figure it all out yourself, sometimes it's just a matter of reaching out to the people that already have it solved for you so that you can get there faster. And that's it. So anyways, I hope that helps in the face of just running your business, growing your business, weathering a recession. I think this way of thinking, first principles, and then reverse engineering, beginning with the end in mind, reverse engineering that, and then accelerating your progress by reaching out to people that have already done it is just a really helpful lesson that's saved me literally years within my life, within my business. So hope that's helpful. We're going pretty deep here at a garden center. I'm going to go get my supplies, and I will talk to you guys soon.